We all carry this basic need to feel safe in our environment and in our relationships. However, this need for safety manifests in many different ways, and one of them is through unconscious, unhealthy, insecure behavior. We often refuse to want to even hear or accept the fact or someone telling us that we are insecure, so we immediately reject that. So insecurity is really that inner voice where it says, please love me, comfort me, and accept me. It's that primitive desire for safety and security. For a lot of us, we display this insecure behavior in very subtle signs. Really, the message is that we have this underlying fear that we aren't safe, typically rooted from childhood trauma or previous romantic relationships. So an unavailable parent or primary caregiver, or a partner that was not available for us. Obviously, insecurity is not healthy. It keeps us in a state of stress. This stress can be very mild in certain situations, but it can be triggered in extreme situations as well, and can intensify if it's not addressed. In our intimate relationships, dating or otherwise, insecurity is intensified dramatically. Fears are brought to the forefront, and it manifests in very, very subtle ways. One of them is to be really obsessed with our physical appearance, what we say, what we do, what we say and what we don't do. It's like walking on our own eggshells. Or we tend to accelerate a relationship. We start to plan immediately. We want to know where the partnership is going, and we ignore all the yellow flags, and the green flags are given way too much credit. Or we get involved with people that are pressure us into commitment and that require rescuing. There are plenty of histories of romances starting very quickly, and we believe that they're the one. So authentic intimacy takes time to develop, and being insecure energetically, we create that energetic hunger, and it often repels an ideal partner. So if we're in a relationship, it actually pushes somebody away, especially a partner that has their stuff together. They've mastered the art of self-actualization. They know their boundaries, they know their values, they know exactly what they want and what they don't want. So subconsciously and behaviorally, we empower them in a role of being the savior, thinking that if they love us, they will eliminate our feelings of self-doubt and inadequacy, historically saving us from this underlying discomfort of insecurity, when we should actually be empowering ourselves and manifesting our wholeness and our ideal partner through that energy. So to break free of insecurity is to become more self-confident, and self-assurance is understanding, first of all, acknowledging that there is a level of insecurity and doing the inner work and the introspective work that brings us ultimately to embrace self-love. From a personal perspective, I've probably gone through all three of those. And so a lot of the time I was physically obsessed with the way I looked and what I said, just because I just felt insecure. Insecure because I did have an unavailable parent growing up. And yes, I've done my fair share of starting relationships fast and furious. I'd meet somebody and boom, I want to know where everything is going right away. I want to plan, start a business together, live together, all of that stuff, just because there was just this feeling that this person was going to leave me, and this fear that I was going to be abandoned and ignored and not accepted for who I was. And most certainly was ignoring all the yellow flags and giving way, way too much credit to green flags, to the point maybe even making up some green flags. So the lesson here is that yes, as much as we want to ignore that we are insecure, there are subtle ways of how insecurity comes into play in our relationships. And the reality is, until we actually start doing the inner work, we won't see them unless we start journaling and really getting in touch with ourselves and really rediscovering who we are and rediscovering that we are whole and that we give ourselves the opportunity to heal and embrace that healing, and being okay that we've gone through rough patches in our life. We've grown up a certain way. We've had these experiences in relationship that have hurt us. This is the time where we can begin to transcend and live a life very differently, and not feeling insecure and feeling empowered. And this will give us the opportunity and the ability to be able to create the love that we're looking for, manifest the partner that we are looking for in a more energetic, more comfortable, self-loving state.